Now this one was sticking, this ferrule, before. So what tip you can do is this. You just get the ferrule there, you can rub it along the side of your nose, like this, or in the top of your ear, and just across your ear like this. And there's people up walking along the promenade thinking, there is a man who's putting a fishing rod in his ear. No, I'm putting grease or oil over that ferrule, so that when you put it in there, old school guys, if there's any left out there, any of us left, or am I the only one who remember this, then when you take your ferrule out, it comes out much easier. You don't have to go and find 9 rugby players to get and pull the damn thing apart. So watch, straight out, because it's got those natural oils in there. Tip number 1, I haven't even started fishing. Well folks, I've been here most of the afternoon, biteless, but it's getting dark now. This is the best time. The downside is the tide's falling, so it's really against me. It's not a good time to fish down here. And also the darkness balances it out. So I could have done with a flood tide getting towards high water with darkness. It's totally the reverse. Darkness has coincided with a low tide. So I've at least had one bite. It's the first bite I've had for 3 hours. And we're going to catch enough to eat. I hope so. Well people, this not big enough to eat. It's a dab. It's a flatfish. Really, really nice to eat, but that one's just not big enough to eat. You can see he's on the worm, so save the blank. I've had some other bites as well. I thought they were whiting, but they didn't come back, so I reckon they could be dabs. If I put the light on this, you should be able to see right through it. I don't know whether you're going to work and see that, but if you can see through the dab, like this, if you can see through the fish like that, that tells you it's a dab. Now these are really, really nice eating when they're sizable. So this guy's going to go back, and you never know, I might still be able to salvage something. It is definitely his lucky day. Now I'm starting to get whiting. So if I can get another one this size, hopefully. It was just straight out, straight in. If I can get another one this size, I'm going to take some fillets off them, and then I'm going to make little goujons. I think that's what I'm going to do. I've never heard of whiting goujons. I can't even spell it, but we're going to have them. But I've got to catch a couple more. And you know what the saying is? When you get sizable fish, they fight all the way to the frying pan. Look at the teeth on this one. Okay, so gradually getting a little bit of fish together. Probably have enough to eat. Give it another 20 minutes or so. I'm going to be cooking not on a gas cooker. I'm going to be cooking on this. Anybody know what it is? I'll turn it this way, a lot of people might. It's a Swedish Fire Torch. That's what we call them. So, this one is a birch. Very good for burning. I've dried this out for probably a year and a half, 2 years. You put those cuts, this is the best way we found, right the way through them like that, leaving a bit of a hole in the middle, and then you wire them. Now, I've tried several different ways of doing this, and I'm just wiring it like that. It allows the air to get in the middle and in the top, and if that gets hot enough, I should be able to cook those fish on this as a fire. Assuming we can get it going, of course. I'm going to prep these fish, cut them up into small fillets so that they fry, little cubes, that's all I want, little cubes there. And I've got some olive oil and herbs, spices, salt, pepper. I could almost call myself organised. Here we go boys, fresh out of the water. That's a nice chunk. That is a nice big chunky fat whiting. Let's get him up where I've prepped the other two and I've got enough to get frying. I think we need to get the old Swedish Fire Torch on the go, people. Ah, nice to get some fish. Fish for tea. There we go. Okay boys, I don't know how much of this you're going to see. Obviously, I'm going to try and do this before the tide comes in. So you just open it up and I put some paper down in the middle, just like this. And hopefully this is all going to catch along the sides. Should be poking it in with a knife really. Now you can slacken these off, moving them around, but generally we find it burns from the top down. That's the general consensus of opinion. It burns from the inside and the top down, so we're going to give it a go. You can just force the bits of paper down there. Listen, there's all different ways of doing it. You put other bits of kindling wood in there, loads of different ways of lighting these, like in all fires. There is no real, this is the way to do it. And also, I have seen them crisscross other wood up there. I've got a couple of little bits of kindling. I might actually do that, to be honest. Right. Give this a light if it will light. Hopefully it will. I'm going to finish filleting that bigger whiting, and hopefully this guy should be off and running. Well, I hear popping and crackling. I think we have liftoff, people. And there you go. Swedish Fire Torch, and it will only get better. Okay, in here I've got a marinade which somebody said is a good way of doing it, so we're going to put this in here, let that heat up. Should be pretty level. I've got in there, guys, butter, oregano, all bits and bobs. You can make your own marinade, olive oil, butter, that sort of stuff. So we'll let that warm up a second, and then we get this in there, and hopefully we'll be cooking on a Swedish Fire Torch. Salt, pepper, it's all in there. It's a handy way to carry all your marinades about. That's one of our comments, guys, told us that, so thank you very much. Good idea. That's going so sweet now. Look at that. Burns from the inside out. So you can see the principle of how it works. Butter's starting to melt, guys. You can put whatever herbs, spices, anything like that you want in there. It's going to take a while to heat up here because it is really cold tonight. And the pan is just starting to pink a little bit, what we call pink. There we go. Lovely orange flame. I can't take it off too long because it actually drops away in temperature quite quickly. Just let those herbs and spices just work away there for a second. Let's get our fillets of fish ready. I've got the bucket here just to kill off the wind too quickly, and I've got my fillets here. The smell is a mixture of smoke, spices and fish. Great cure for asthma, I believe. That's a joke, by the way. There we go, guys. I think we're ready for flipping here. Come on, over you go. You know you want to be cooked. I did take the skin off of one. There we go. It's got to be a basic way to cook. But I tell you what, the Swedish people knew what they were doing, didn't they? Wait for this, my rods are still out. Maybe I'll get one of the rare cod. Or a fine sea bass. Wow, there's some heat in that now. I'm hoping it's going to be enough to boil my kettle. Beautiful job, Graeme. Well done. There you go. You know what the saying is, boys? It don't get no better than that. Well, they're done. That comes off. Kettle goes on. I'm going to sit down and enjoy this now. Putting those spices has got to be the way to go, boys. Here's the bonus. It's not wasted. There's the steam. Hot soup on the way. Wow, it's like a steam engine. It's so warm here, people, and it's burning through the bottom. So obviously you've got to be aware that it does burn out, and if you do cook on it, cook on the early stages of it while it's still flat at the top. But as you can see, the old Swedish Fire Torch is ripping. No good using wet wood, it's not going to work. As you can see, I've got my cup of soup as well. I know I should have had this to start before the fish, but I wanted to make sure the fish was cooked. Still catching, and the Swedish Fire Torch is still burning. Result.